Gregory Itzin, and I play President Charles Logan on 24.
I'm Jean Smart, and I play First Lady Martha Logan on 24.
My lovely wife, Martha.
Thank you, darling.
The following takes place between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m.
My physical resemblance to, let us say, old President Nixon.
Oh, you're much better looking than
Thank you, dear.
Nixon.
I think so, too. That's just genetics, a hairline thing and whatever. But I wasn't thinking of modeling myself. I'd just take the script and let it percolate down through my own, levels and see what comes out. I mean, I was definitely thinking of images like from my youth, things of Kennedy and stuff like that, but that wasn't eventually the guy I ended up playing, but that was in my head.
Certainly, I tried to keep a through line in my head of where she was emotionally, because you think, because you're shooting it over a period of several months, you keep forgetting that it's one day. I had to keep reminding myself, no, this is the same day. And that fight we had was 20 minutes ago.
Not 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Not weeks ago. So emotionally, how is this going to track? Now, obviously, because my character was very volatile emotionally, it was easier for me to justify those sort of quicksilver changes in her personality. But obviously she was a person who has some chemical imbalances and some emotional issues. But I think, in some ways she's strong, and she's obviously very bright, but not well suited to the White House, I think.
We've talked about this a lot. I think in a lot of ways it's just the opposite. I don't know that it feeds the fear. I think the fear is now a constant, or it is now just a part of the life that we live. I still don't know that we found a place to put it. 24, in a way, helps to relieve that fear because it gives the United States a hero. It gives them Jack Bauer, whose job it is, not just whose job it is, but whose life is dedicated to making the United States a safe place. And so they know at the beginning of the season that you're going to get 24 hours of jeopardy, at the end of which there will be a resolution where the United States is safe. And I think that if anything else, that's something that they need right now. I think that partly explains the phenomenon of the show.
I would be very conflicted if I felt the show was feeding that kind of paranoia. I would not have wanted to be part of the show. I would have felt a huge responsibility. I never looked at it that way. I think people do find it very reassuring somehow and very satisfying. Because we're all frightened, and it somehow makes us feel that we have some control somehow.
Even if it's just control that we have on TV, knowing that things will be okay. Very odd, but there you go.
I don't know if it's my favorite. It's the one that just popped in my head, was when Martha decides to get in the limo, knowing that that it's going to be attacked and blown up with the Russian premier in it. And I thought, again, that was an act of bravery, but it was also an act of emotional impulsiveness, which is what sort of Martha was about. And I thought she put her husband in a horrible dilemma.
But that was your intention, was to make him get off the dime.
But what a terrible position to put you in.
Oh yeah, that's my loving wife. Kiefer has another 2 or 3 years on his contract, so they're banking on it continuing to be a hit. You can't argue with the fact that every TV show that's ever been on eventually ends. So there will come a time when it either runs out of steam or runs out of storyline or something. I don't know in the public eye, but I think for the time being, and especially considering that this has every year the numbers have gotten better, and this past year was its best numbers yet. I think that it will go. It's got some life left in it for I don't know how many years. All we know right now is that they're writing it, and they even don't know what the story totally is, because they never know exactly. But I know, I've talked to the writers about that fact, and they're writing it. That's all that they'll tell anybody. Kiefer will definitely be in it.
I'm guessing that Kiefer's the only person from the show that will be in the movie.